Do you guys feel really anxious about reaching out to a brand or business? I reached out to my first sponsor about 14 years old, and I remember it being so scary. Do I send an email? How do I ask? Guys, I was clueless, okay? During the early days of my snowboard career, I was really struggling to get to where I wanted to because of finances. I didn't come from a rich family. I didn't have all the resources. Everyone who I all of a sudden got into the national scene with all had these coaches. They had the connections. Maybe they already had a following of people. And I was kind of, I grew up in Ottawa where there's not much of that, so it's not really a big scene for my sport. Now, what I did know is that I had the work ethic to get to where I wanted to go, and I believe so strongly in my vision. And I think that's one of the most key components to when you want to get your first sponsor, is just believing in yourself and actually investing in your own journey. Then you can get others like brands and businesses to do the same. Because if you don't invest in yourself, you can't ask someone else to invest in you. It's really like a relationship if you were dating someone. It's kind of the same when you think about a sponsorship. It's so important to show that you're investing in yourself, that you believe in the journey, to get other people to come along and believe in your journey. I started with 0 connections. I had none of these connections built because I actually got my first sponsor when I was like 15 or something. Before I even started traveling to events or doing big events, like I was still very grassroots at this point. And my first sponsor was a local shop. And so I reached out to them, I think, like I said at the start, when I was 14. And in a nice way, they said no. I was still very much a beginner. I think I sent them a video and I was not good. Guys, I seriously was not good. But I believed so strongly that I would make it one day. That enthusiasm really kind of got into their heads, because a year later they saw my progression, saw me at events, and they decided to sign me on. And the cool thing is that it only happened because I had reached out and gotten a no from them before. So you can't be afraid to get these no's, get the rejection, because it can build that relationship further. So you got to do those things and jump in before you even feel ready, because honestly, like, you will never feel ready, and you'll always have that self-doubt even if you're at the top of your game. You just want to get on these people's radars before you're at that point, right? I think it's really cool if you can call your shot ahead of time. Like, you tell them, I'm going to do this, and then you back it up, you show that you're actually doing that. That's almost better that they said no and then they signed me on later, because it's cool for them to see the progress and watch that small part of my journey, because it then sold them on following the rest of the journey. They saw me here, they said no, they see me here now, they're like, okay, you've gone here to here, we know you can go here to here, right? So if you're like, I'm going to pump out all these sponsor me tapes or videos, and I'm going to beg companies to sponsor me and messaging them on Instagram, you don't need to do that. I'm going to share with you guys what I've learned and what has helped me in both my athletic career and actually now in my business. Like, the way I got these first sponsors is how I have also built my business. And I truly believe that your story is your competitive advantage. That's what you need to be selling, not your results or your like other things like that. Like, the reason that brands and businesses sponsor you and like they're going to partner with you when you're not a professional yet, maybe you're just an up and comer, is because you sell them on your journey and where you're going to go. You let them come along for the ride so they can become a part of your story, and also you can become a part of their story. Like I said, it's a relationship. Imagine the story a brand can tell when you blow up and get all this recognition and you start winning these events and everything, and they've been by your side the whole time. Like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever that's been by your side the whole time, cheering you on and supporting you, versus if they only jump on board once you've made it, right? Like, it's so cool for that brand to be part of that. So I just think that's such a cool concept and a way to frame the selling of your story when you're just grassroots. So even if you don't have a huge audience, another reason why brands and businesses would want to partner with you is if you're a top athlete in your local area, you likely have a lot of persuasion with your friends, your teammates, your classmates, and this can be very important for them. You're also more real to those people than this top athlete, right? And a lot of local businesses and smaller brands, they don't have these huge budgets to sign those big athletes. They're looking for people just like you with an amazing story, an amazing journey that they can use to build their brand and you to build yours. There are 3 key things that you guys need to do to get your first sponsor, okay? So take out a notebook, jot these things down. The first thing that you need to do is prepare a little PDF with info about yourself. Not always will you have to use this, but if you get asked, you want to be able to send it right away. It looks really professional. This is showing your journey, your future goals, how you can actually help them, like who you could influence, who you could reach, like what you're doing with content, stuff like that. That's so important. Next, when you reach out to them, you need to make it all about them. It's not about you, it's about them. And that's a big mistake I see athletes making, is you're just hyping yourself up. You're like, yeah, I got this result, I'm doing this, like you need me. No, if you went on a first date and only spoke about yourself, how it would be good for the other person to date you, how they need you, do you think that person's going to want to go on a second date with you? Probably not, unless they're really into that, and that would be super lame. So just, you want to make it about what you bring to the table for the other party. Like, what do you bring? What value can you show them? You can ask them questions like, what are they looking for? How can you help? How can you help them actually achieve their goals? And then be okay if they say no or rejection. But just start that conversation. Keep the conversation friendly. And keep the communication going. Check in with them regularly, because it might take a few months, years, or just multiple interactions to actually get the yes. Like I said before, in my journey, like they want to see that journey from point A to, point B, and then they can follow along for the rest. The key takeaway is just to remember, it's never too early to start looking for your first sponsor. You need to start investing in yourself and believing in yourself to get others to invest in you and believe in yourself. Same thing is true with relationships as it is with a relationship with a brand or a business. Remember that your story is more powerful than you think. We all have stories that can connect with other people. And so sharing that and selling the journey is how you can actually build these partnerships and grow your audience. And always look for how you can help the other person and not the other way around. Don't beg them and say, hey, you need to sponsor me because I'm going to the Olympics and I need a sponsor, I need money. Tell them what you can do for them. And so guys, I'm curious, like, what sports are you into? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Do you have any sponsors? Being a sponsored athlete is awesome. It is something to take with responsibility, getting to call yourself a sponsored athlete, getting to represent a brand or a business. So it's important you do things the right way, you do things authentically. Building an audience and having those people who looked up to you as an athlete is not something to take lightly. And I think it's just so powerful and such a great way to help other people and inspire other people. So if you guys got some help from this, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything else. Leave a comment and shoot me a DM on Instagram at Natalie Allport. I love to connect with you guys over there. That's where I'm kind of most active. So again, subscribe, like, comment, and I appreciate you guys checking this out. I have some really exciting news that it's gonna come down the pipeline pretty soon. I'm working on something that's actually gonna be a full framework of how you can then get your first sponsor, or if you're already a sponsored athlete, how you can provide more value and keep getting more sponsors, build your audience and your following, and do that all in a really authentic way that isn't like selling out as an athlete. So again, leave a comment, shoot me a DM on Instagram if you want to be the first to hear about kind of some of that stuff and those news. That's where I kind of release things. And thank you guys again for watching. I hope this provided value to you, and I'll keep creating content like this to help you guys. It's so important for me to give back to athletes and entrepreneurs, people who are just like me and in my position. The things that I've learned have helped me so much, and I just want you guys to learn the same kind of things. I know I get asked a lot I've got asked by Olympic gold medalists, all the way down to up and coming athletes on this scene, how to get sponsors, and I have so much stuff that I'm going to package up and try to help you guys with. So again, follow me, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll make sure that you guys stay in the loop about all that kind of stuff. Hope you guys have an amazing day.